welcome back to round two of the Tuesday night Legacy Fight Night fight. Uh,
That's a mouthful.
for round two, we've got Oliver V, who you've probably seen on stream before on Bug Worldgorger, and Zigeif, uh,
Beef, something like that.
new a new member on Naya Flagstones. So this is a
Yes.
super interesting matchup.
Yeah, this is definitely
Um,
going to be cool. I think, provided that Worldgorger Dragon doesn't just get the nuts on like turn one or turn two, I imagine this is going to have a lot of game to it.
and so this is a matchup that I know Oliver is uh very familiar with as he plays
Yes.
both of these decks.
Yeah.
Um, what do you, how do you like this matchup?
Um, I think this matchup's super cool. Again, my big issue with being on the Flagstones end is Flagstones is not the fastest deck in the world, and you just get run right over if Worldgorger has a fast start. But and for anyone who's not familiar as well, the Flagstones variant I believe that we're dealing with here is built on the power of Flagstones of Torcair with Elvish Reclaimer. So what you do is that when Flagstones of Torcair dies, you search your library for a plains card, put it onto the battlefield. So all you do is you use Elvish Reclaimer, pitch the Flagstones away. You use the Flagstones to go grab the land you actually want, and then you use the Reclaimer to just grab another Flagstones. And then repeat the process until all your reclaimers are nice and beefy.
It's really nice big mana.
Yeah. Oh, that's so unfortunate, Charvel. Just get a straw, and then that way at least you can, have some of the soup while you're playing.
Or just pretend it's gazpacho.
Yeah.
So it looks like we are going to see Oliver on the play, which, if you're unfamiliar with the Worldgorger combo, it uses a combination of Worldgorger Dragon, which says when it comes into play, exile all of the other permanents you control, and either Animate Dead or Dance of the Dead. So
Yeah, a
uh,
permanent based reanimation spell. So
yes,
you do not want to use cards like Exhume or Reanimate because what'll happen is that
you'll get stuck
they'll
with a
just come in and then
Worldgorger
the Worldgorger
Dragon.
Dragon, which, to be fair, being stuck with a Worldgorger Dragon isn't the worst. It's a 7/7 Trampler. Or is
No,
it
but
7/7 Flyer?
the way that the combo works is
Is a
World
flyer.
Gorger Dragon comes in, exiles all of your permanents, including the enchantment that you used to reanimate World Gorger Dragon. Uh, you World Gorger Dragon then dies because of the stipulation of
If the enchantment would die
the
or would be removed, the creature dies.
and then when World Gorger Dragon dies, all of your permanents come back. So you get all your mana untapped. You get your enchantment back. It brings back World Gorger Dragon again. You make infinite mana, and then hope to either draw your whole deck or cast in Oliver's case, Ishkana, Graph Widow, make a ton of spiders, and use your infinite mana to drain your opponent based on the fact that you have basically infinite spiders,
Yeah.
or one spider with infinite mana and drain them infinite times.
Yes. Because, yeah, the tokens will get exiled with the World Gorger Dragon if you get an Ishkana in while the World Gorger is still going off.
So
Of note,
super,
though, and this is something that's really bizarre for people who may not be familiar with it, if Worldgorger Dragon is the only creature in either player's graveyard and you cast one of these reanimation spells, there is no way to break this loop without casting a spell. So it will continue to reanimate, exile until the end of time, so the game instantly draws.
which Oliver has done to me a few times.
Yeah, it's a little bit scummy, but it's definitely a way of, hey, I'm losing this game, draw. Yeah, you can cast Entomb to break the loop, but if you don't have Entomb in hand, you can't do it.
Yeah, if you just have lands,
Ooh, nice. I love me some Guru basics. And
we're
yeah,
seeing a
so
force on the Reclaimer.
I back that a lot, especially again, I've played against Oliver playing Naya Reclaimer a lot, so I know he knows how important that Reclaimer can be. So
Yeah, I'm looking. There are abrupt decays, drown in the locks, in the deck, so he does have removal for it once it does come down, but
yeah,
just not giving it the not giving Z the option is probably the correct play. I know Oliver gets very upset every time that I pithing needle his reclaimers.
yeah. Fitting Needle's a fantastic card.
Yes, there is. It's another one that I am glad that I own like 4 play sets of,
Yeah.
especially now that it is significantly cheaper.
If we're gonna go, so Oliver did get the land, it looks like, off that ponder, or just played the ponder before playing the land. But we're gonna get a fetch here, grabbing another underground sea. And Thoughtseize here right away. So we're gonna see what's going on.
Uh, is the only target a loam?
Looks like it.
Loam.
Oh
Oh,
no,
is
and
that
it,
no,
oh,
Sabine's
Savin's
Reclamation?
Reclamation.
Yeah.
This is so bad.
Yeah,
Either of
either
these are just awful.
um
I kind of like taking Savine's Reclamation here though, because it doesn't mean that it means that Zigive can't immediately start dredging this turn.
yeah. How much does Sabine's
It also means
Reclamation
that
cost?
Savine's Rec, you can't use it to get 3 permanents, you can only use it to get 2. Wasteland here. I like that play a lot, actually.
Yeah.
So we're just going to see fetch pass. Pass the turn back. So, of note as well, for Zig having I'm assuming, yeah, the only copy of Bajuka Bog in hand, there's no way for Zig to instant speed interrupt this Worldgorger dragon if it starts trying to go off.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And I see no crop rotations. Oh, there's 2 in the sideboard, but not in the main deck.
That's interesting. It is good for Oliver to know though that he doesn't have 2 turns to set up his Worldgorger combo.
Yeah. So we're going to see flash in the Ice Fang Quaddle in response to the Wasteland. So upkeep, we're going to see a port here. So it looks like it just happens.
Charble, I'm not 100% sure why the crop rotations are in the side. It's just I'm assuming what you're asking about.
Yeah.
Um
Only thing I can think of is just this deck is trying to lean hard on Reclaimer, and Reclaimer is basically a repeatable version of crop rotation.
I know that the this started more or less as a modern deck, correct?
As far as I know, it definitely feels more like a modern deck.
Because
Just
you're
splashing in a couple legacy cards with it.
so notably, the Z's deck is not playing um the either Dryad of the Elysian Grove or uh
Primeval Titan.
Prism,
So this is
Prismatic
more just
Omen.
yeah. So this is more like an actual lands deck than
Yeah.
anything else. But in this particular case, though, because of it, with Naya Flagstones, you want to be using the Reclaimer slash crop rotation effect a lot more than 6 times, and that's why they load up on Reclaimers. On top of Reclaimers also being a 3/4 body is really relevant. Yeah, that Ghost Quarter would have definitely come in handy for sure. You're gonna see a Life from the Loam here. I bet you Oliver's just losing his mind at all these signed cards from on Zig's side.
Damaged.
Oliver is a big fan of the
Damaged card.
signed cards. Yeah, damaged cards. Yes.
um
So we're gonna see fetching one at a time.
which is something I've gotten a lot more in the habit of doing since the printing of Hull Breacher. Or not Hull Breacher,
Of opposition
Opposition
agent.
Agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charble, you should have just told them that that Black Lotus was unplayable, and that you would take it at a discount.
So for this case here with the second Ice Fang Quaddle, this actually turns both of them on in terms of Death Touch. So it looks like we're gonna port in response third Codal. Wow. That's a lot of snacks. Especially
That is a
flying
lot of
snacks.
snakes.
So we're
Um,
also seeing the other side of this, which is just, hey, I'm playing a combo deck that doesn't combo.
Codals are such a weird piece of mythology.
Yeah.
Snake fly with big bird wing. Charble.
You're going to see a Field of the Dead here, which this is going to be really rough if Oliver can't do something about that soon. Because we already know that there's 2 more lands in Zig's hand. So just going to see a second island here. So we're still at 1 black source for Oliver right now, but sort of supply shares on one of them. Then taking 2, it looks like.
Yeah, I think if you're Oliver at this point, you can kind of just sit and do this
Oh,
thing.
that feels so bad. That
Yeah.
feels so bad.
Yeah, well, I think we can be fairly certain that a number of discard spells will come out in the
Yeah. Exploration. Wow, what a draw. I always find that funny how every time I forget to dredge, I'm always like, "Oh, I should have dredged." And every time I do dredge, I just regret it horribly. Just all the cards I want, just right in the garbage.
I believe you were the one that taught me never punished.
Never punished, yes. The never punished lifestyle. And we see actually with that exploration there, that turn Field of the Dead on this turn, and also got the land as well with a fetch. So, oh man, this is potentially two more zombies on end step here. So Oliver needs to come up with something fast here because this clock is going to speed up real quick.
Uh does have 2 black mana now.
Well, potentially depends on what
Yeah.
happens with the polluted delta. So, are there actually any basic swamps in Oliver's list? Because if not,
Yes.
I'd almost be half tempted.
There's
There's
one basic swamp.
Yeah, because otherwise I'd almost be half tempted to port the fetch land, and then if they fetch a non-basic, you just waste them.
Yeah.
We're gonna see multiple fetches here. Oodles of zombies.
Knowing that the
Oh, I like that a lot. So Zig's fetching specifically to get the zombies because wasting will put him down to 6 lands.
tropical island.
Yeah. In Champagne, that is a good point as well. Oliver needs to be careful, yeah, to keep the Ace Fangs on board because if they don't stay there, then it'll be really hard to continue to dig. So we're just going to crunch in for 6, block one of them. Yeah. And then, yeah, Oliver knows he's got to keep that second Ice Fang around. Otherwise, he can make infinite mana, but if he doesn't have anything in hand to do with it, then it doesn't really work. Dark Depths here. Let's get a slow depths off. Yeah. Oh, Bajuka Bog. Oof.
Yeah, I do like this play because basically, I mean, if Oliver casts uh Entomb um and
That is actually
Animate Dead
true.
or
I
Dance of
wonder
the
if
Dead.
his hand is Animate Dead and Tomb, and he was just waiting for that Bajuka Bog to come in.
Yeah. Um Zig does not have any way of they don't have any wastelands on board right now, right?
No, but there is a wasteland in the graveyard, and they do have Life from the Loam in hand.
Astrolabe now allows Oliver to block with that Quaddle.
Yeah, so we're gonna get a fetch here.
So that does spell enough mana for is there 2 cards in hand?
Um, yeah, I think it should be 2 cards in hand.
Yeah, Astrolabe does provide the second of the
Black.
3 necessary black mana to go off right now.
Yeah.
And Zig has really provided Oliver enough time to sculpt and draw cards or draw into that combo.
What do you need the third black mana for? I thought you only needed 2.
You need 2 black mana.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You need 3 mana, but 2 of it needs to be black.
Yes.
Did I say 3 black mana?
Yes, you did.
Okay, I meant 3
Tisk,
mana.
tisk, tisk.
Or cast
No,
an
we're just
Uro.
gonna get an arrow, I guess. Yeah, like just gain 3, draw a card, and die. So we're gonna upkeep dredge.
Looks like a diamond, another depths, and a port.
Um,
Or is that a wasteland? I can't tell.
it's
It's
a
wasteland.
wasteland. Wasteland stage. Okay, so Oliver's clock just got ridiculously tight. Because I imagine we're gonna see a wasteland and we're gonna see a stage this turn.
And
Crunch for
coming in
6, which I
6
like
or
that
8.
as well. Uh, might have been 8.
I think it was coming in for 8. I think
Okay.
there were 4 zombies there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. You ran out of actual zombie tokens. However, though, we do see a stage online now, so this is really bad for Oliver. Oliver needs to go off right now.
Yeah.
Because not only is there 10 power worth of zombies, there's also going to be a 2020 flyer coming in. So upkeep here, we're going to waste the trop. Just further tighten up on the mana. Oliver being an absolute gentleman and making sure asking Zig if he'd like to use the Rashad port in upkeep. Yeah, Champagne, that is a good point. Yeah, hilariously, it doesn't actually change the clock at all. It's just another thing that Oliver has to deal with.
So we
Whereas
are
that if
seeing
the
the
10
Entomb for the world for we all right, so we've got Worldgorger Dragon in the bin.
Yeah. So I imagine Oliver's gonna try and go off this turn because otherwise you'd want to hide the Worldgorger Dragon for sure. You
Yeah.
just want to have them put you on Bug Snow.
Well, there's the Dance of the Dead.
Yeah. So of note here, Oliver can target Uro to break this lock. Oh no, with the Astrolabe, it's gonna go infinite anyway.
Yeah. So Oliver's gonna draw as many cards as he needs to in order to find Ishkana.
Yeah.
And potentially an abrupt decay so that he can abrupt decay his astrolabe and then stop drawing and then just make infinite mana and
So we're gonna see Oliver repeat this loop probably for about 10 cards there. And then probably take him in blocks of 5 after this until he finds the cards he need.
there are actually plenty of options 'cause it would be better for Oliver to find another entomb um to yeah, there's another entomb.
Yeah,
We're
so
gonna
this is
see an
gonna go find the
entomb of the
Ishkana now.
Ishkana, and to break the loop instead of needing to decay the astrolabe, just changes the target of the dance to Ishkana, makes a spider.
Well, the thing that you just got to be careful of here is the fact that, technically speaking, you only net 4 mana per time you perform this loop that you have to draw a card,
Hmm,
right? So if you perform the loop 10 times, it's only 40 mana, which is enough to activate Ishkana 5 times.
right.
So as
So
long as you
Oliver
don't
needs to
have to loop
draw.
60 times or however many cards are left in your library, you will need to abrupt decay the astrolabe at one point or another.
Right.
Because in order to actually get functionally infinite mana, you cannot have a draw effect in play, otherwise you will deck yourself.
Right.
So, in terms of sideboarding on Zig's side, we have 2 copies of Crop Rotation, 3 Deafening Silence, 2 Pyroblast, 1 Red Elemental Blast, 2 copies of Null Rod, 1 Skyclave Apparition, 2 Force of Vigor, and 2 Mindbreak Trap.
I like the crop rotations. Just being able to crop rotate for a bog seems really good here.
Yeah.
Uh,
I actually also like the I actually like Deafening Silence as well. Because Deafening Silence means that the one spell, i.e., the Dance of the Dead or the Animate Dead, is going to be all the spells you're allowed to cast that turn.
yeah. Yeah, deafening silence
So
seems pretty
you will
good.
need the everything ready to go before you can try going off.
I also potentially bring in the third apparition just to add to the clock.
Yeah, I can see that. I actually don't mind Force of Vigor either. Uh, just for the purpose of, okay, I'm going to animate dead this Worldgorger dragon. Okay, in response to the exile trigger, blow up the enchantment.
What seems bad in Zig's list?
In terms of things to cut,
Yeah.
um, I'm really not sure. I was going to say it's not a combat deck, and then I remembered that there's Uro in there.
Yeah. I think even with the I think that there are a couple of lands. I think Tabernacle can get trimmed. I think even though Ishkana is a legendary, Caracas doesn't do enough.
I could see that for sure.
I
And of note, there are 34 lands in Zig's list, so
um those are really the only two lands that I feel like seem bad. Um
yeah. Um, hmm.
I
I'm
can
not
see that
entirely
champagne.
sure otherwise.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, actually, I kind of like that cutting maze over
oh
Caracas. That
yeah,
actually
yep.
makes sense.
Yep. I didn't think of there are two mazes too, and I think that both of those can come out pretty easily.
Yeah.
So
Also,
for oh
also hilariously, if you reanimate the, I guess if you have the infinite mana, you can't really Caracas the Ishkana back to hand, but
so for Oliver, we have Carpet of Flowers, a Cling to Dust, a Surgical Extraction, 3 Veil of Summer, 3 Assassin's Trophy, a Dead of Winter, 3 Okos, and 2 Plague Engineers.
um, as much as the card absolutely disgusts me, I imagine Oko would probably be pretty good here.
Yeah,
I could be wrong entirely though. Like Lance doesn't have a lot of things that you're dealing with, but the ability to just uptick an Elka Merit Lage seems okay. And the other thing as well is that it's just an extra clock that you need to do because that, if you're expecting that Bajuka Bog to be more of a fetchable target, then maybe you just board the Worldgorger combo out
yeah,
and then
yeah.
just play Snow Control.
I think boarding into a mid-range uh, deck doesn't necessarily sound bad, especially because then you can bring in the Assassin's Trophies pretty easily as well. Um, those they do deal with either stage or uh, Field of the Dead or what have you. But then I think I saw somebody in the Champagne in the chat said the carpet, or not the carpet, the cling and the surgicals as well. I agree.
Yeah, those
Need to
also
come
seem
in.
incredibly good. You can just use Cling to hit Savines here and there, and then if you get the chance, you can just Surgical the Life from the Loam right away. Seems very good.
And I think I already brought it up, but I think you can start by trimming some of the hand hate. Um, the thought seizes don't sound super great.
Yeah.
Um,
That is a good point, though, too, is that Field of the Dead is an amazing card and a real mirror breaker for mid range.
yeah. Anything else? How do you feel about Jason this matchup, other than being able to bounce a Merit Lush?
I actually don't mind it. Just as a like, the thing is this deck's really slow unless you get the Flagstones Reclaimer thing off immediately. And even then, there's not really that much of a combo finish other than, Field of the Dead a whole bunch. Um, but at the same time, it's so you'll have time in that regard. But at the same time, if they get a Field of the Dead, you're just pooched because there's no way Jace can defend that.
Yeah. Um, well, it looks like Zig is taking a mull here. Oliver is going to keep 7.
Yeah. Yeah, an exploration of Mox Diamond can definitely help speed it up. That is a good point, too. Just remember back in the day when Mana Bond was a good card in lands. So that was fun.
I mean, one of my friends who plays lands still plays Mana Bond
Yeah.
because when it's good, it's nuts.
Yeah. I agree with that too. I am also of the opinion, especially because lands isn't my main deck, but I really like the whole, hey, I can have the, turn one, do the crazy thing. That's probably got to be feeling bad if you're Oliver, but at the same time, I totally agree with not letting that Reclaimer resolve because it can just do anything you want it to. Especially if next turn is the Flagstones. Oh my gosh. You just start going off on turn 2. Although pitching
Champagne,
that
is that
burrow is
Mana
hard.
Bond? I'm assuming I'm curious who that was.
If it's an actual dedicated Mana Bond deck, sign me up. If it's just lands with Mana Bond, that's super cool, but
I wonder.
I wonder what that would look like, a 4x Mana Bond deck. That sounds like fun.
I have been dying to try the Rainbow Depths deck. Or have you seen that at all?
I am familiar with how it works. I haven't done a deep dive into what the difference is in the cards. So here's the Deafening Silence. I actually like that here.
Yes.
Um, yeah. On another note, though, our Discord is proxy friendly if you ever wanted to come try it out in terms of try out Rainbow Depths. That way you don't have to invest the money in it before you realize, oh, I hate this.
I think
I've done that before, bought a deck and was like, this was a terrible idea.
Yeah, I have the rest of Depths. I think I'm missing from Rainbow Depths a Gemstone Mine, a Mana Confluence, because I only have 3 of each of those for some reason,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, I have a dredge deck for whenever people want to just get comboed really fast. Or if it's like, hey, look at what this nonsense can do. So I have that for just punishing my friends every now and then. But I have all those lands required because they need to go in the dredge decks. So.
Which there was actually a really good interview by It's Julian. So Julian Nab on his podcast with Tom Hepp, aka Negator 77, the premier pilot of depths in the format, um, about Rainbow Depths recently. It was really interesting.
Nice. So we're gonna see here. Mox Diamond is the one non-creature spell for the turn. Discarding a Bajuka Bog, actually. I guess with Life in the Loam, you can get the Bajuka Bog back, so. But of
And
note, that means that the Bajuka Bog is not in the deck for crop rotation or for Reclaimer.
yeah, if the bog's not in the deck, then it's not super impactful whether it's in the hand or
No.
in the graveyard.
Yeah, Champagne, you're absolutely right. Needs to stop drawing the bog. I agree.
It's I was talking to someone earlier and about my terrible habit of drawing Progenitus.
Yeah. See, that's why I built a deck that can actually cast Progenitus if I draw it.
You can cast Progenitus with elves.
Yeah.
You just need a really good Glimpse Chain and
Birchlow
Birchlore
Rangers.
Rangers and a couple of Elvish Reclaimers.
Yeah, I just go infinite with Knight of the Reliquary and Lotus Cobra. It's way easier. Oh, are we getting a Marilage right now?
We did see the
Ooh.
trophy come
Ooh.
in, or the
Yes. That's really good. Wow. And perfect timing on that too. So right after the legend rule goes on, you just trophy the Thespian stage.
yeah.
Or the Dark Depths that has no counters on it.
Champagne it absolutely got a lot harder, which is why it's a badge of honor if you've ever managed to accomplish that one.
Life from the Loam. Here we go. Try again.
Did Zig fail to find
No, Zig grabbed the forest off of the
off
Assassin's
of
Trophy.
the trophy? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh. That's unfortunate.
so Oliver's going to see here that there are only two uh depths in the deck.
Yeah. Of note, though, even with regardless of how many there were, it just turns Merit Lage off, meaning Field of the Dead is going to have to be how you get there now.
Gotta find it though.
Or Elvish Reclaimer beats. Top card of the library. However, though, we do also see an exploration in hand for Zig right now, so Oliver is going to have to keep that in mind. However, the thing is just you got to be wary of the casting only one non-creature spell a turn. Yeah, I could see that Champagne taking out the Thespian stage instead.
I think you can get big enough mana though that removing the counters from depths is a reasonable plan.
Yeah, which even that reasonable, it'll still take ages.
Yeah.
And yeah, with Port on the battlefield too, that's another thing as well.
I think the best I've ever done is remove all 10 ice counters over 3 turns.
Yeah.
Aside from, hex maging them off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, actually, he only ended up picking up 2 lands. Huh.
So I believe that Oliver did surgical in response to the targeting.
Oh.
So Zig
No,
cast.
because Zig got the Thespian stage and the Savannah back.
Right.
There's just still a Bajuka Bug in the yard, which is interesting because that Zig only picked up 2 lands.
So when did Oliver cast the surgical? Was it in response to Zig casting life?
Yeah.
So if Zig cast life from the loam, targeting Dark Depths, Savannah, and
Oh yes, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Savannah,
then
Dark Depths, and whatever
yeah,
else. Yeah, then that would totally make sense.
and
Yeah.
then in response to the target,
Yeah.
surgical. Yeah, Champagne.
Yeah.
Thank you
That's
for
correct.
helping me
I
turn
can't
my
believe I didn't
mouth
brain
sounds
that.
into English.
Yeah. I didn't brain I did not grok that either. It's a long day.
So we did see the Oko come in though.
Yeah. So we're
And we're
gonna
seeing a decay of the Mox
interesting of the
Diamond.
diamond.
So it looks like Oliver is gonna try and go for that mid-range plan that he's got packed up in the sideboard there.
Huh.
Which I mean I don't hate, but I also don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I don't have perfect information.
Yeah. And yeah, Tribal, that's a good point. That half an elf token's hilarious. Plunder. Can trippin'. So we're gonna keep, draw a card. And then it looks like we're gonna elk again. That's Dawn Treader elk this time.
Um,
Not familiar with the first elk token, but I know the second one's the Dawn Treader elk from Dark Ascension. Yeah,
I've seen
the
some really
exploration in Field of the Dead is definitely going to make the mid-ranging part harder.
yeah.
So we see a maze here. That's really bad.
It's another land for field.
Yep.
What are we up to now? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'll be online next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, the Guru Forest and Temple Garden list, yeah. But yeah, no, the Temple Garden is totally in this deck specifically for name count with Field of the Dead.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Because we did already see the Savannah.
Make a food.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oko out of range of all but a Merit Lage attack.
Yeah.
As it does.
Huh.
Second
Second
Oko.
Oko. Wow. So do you make a second food or do you just tick this one up? Sorry, I should rephrase. Oh yeah, do you make a second food or do you elk the food? So we're elking apparently, but I could also see, making a second food if for no other reason than there's potentially two that could attack next turn. I guess you'd need the second Oko again, but
And there are only 3.
yeah. So Charble of note, the one that's on the cart or on the third food there, that is a Rhyme Treader Stag. That's the Modern Horizons card you're talking about. So here we go. So we're gonna get land number 1 and then land number 2.
I have seen
And then
some
we are gonna get the
really
Pajuka Bog.
some very interesting fixes to the Oko token problem.
Yeah.
But I like this one a lot.
So did Zig only make one token there? I wonder why.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, there should be no duplicate lands.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, he has 2 mazes?
Oh, that would do it. Yeah. Okay. So then, yeah, it would have been the Bajuka bug that would have made the token.
The stage is a maze.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oof, that really slows the clock down then, for sure. That being said, though, Zig's not in the best of spots right now. Zig's at 8.
Does look like
Take 3
they're
down to
just gonna take
5.
that as well, yeah. Sig has 1 card in hand, and we know it's a loam,
I think it's the
right?
loam, yeah. There's another loam in graveyard if it isn't a loam, but
We may not know what it is, but are we doing a stage copy?
we must be because that stage or maze doesn't tap for mana. So, hey, Urta, how's it going?
Yeah, and there's no Urborg in the deck, so
Okay, so we're copying field here, which I think is a fantastic idea. So playing out that, so we're gonna get 2 zombies here. Seems pretty good. The Horde of Elks is coming in. So this is actually interesting because you bring up a good point there that the double maze kind of eventually the elk beats are going to stop in the face of infinite zombies eventually, but right now with only the one maze, Oliver could functionally board wipe Zig here unless Zig goes to 2, in which case he could keep 1 zombie.
we've got 4 elks.
Yep. It really bothers me that I don't know what that other elk is. No, that's not a wetland sandbar, is it? From Dragon's Maze or Dragons of
I have
Tarkir?
no idea.
Let's find out.
So we're seeing just Alpha Strike, amazing one of them. We're definitely gonna see at least 2 get blocked.
Yeah.
Do you take the hit off the 3rd one?
Um,
Well,
I
Zig
don't.
doesn't.
I don't think so. You're so low on life, and if they if Oliver follows up with like a Ice Fang Codal or something like that, that's just way too low.
Oh, following up with a Thoughtseize, getting rid of that red blast.
Yeah. This is Bellowing Elk. It is actually Modern Horizons. I was wrong. I apologize, Charles.
Modern Horizons Elk Tribal.
Yeah.
The most powerful thing to come out of Modern
Yeah.
Horizons.
I was also wrong in that it is Saddled Rhyme Stag, not Rhyme Treader Elk. Oof. I really like that. Force of Will on the Life from the Loam. Yeah, and Zig's just gonna scoop it up there.
Yeah,
Wow.
that'll do
Well
it,
done by
folks.
Oliver. Just mid-ranging out with a combo deck.
Yeah, no, I was talking to him earlier about the Worldgorger deck, and one of the things that he said was how frequently he ends up siding into the mid-range plan.
Yeah.
But all right, folks, we have another round coming to you here shortly. that was a great match.
It
That one
was
was actually
actually.
a
I
lot of
really
fun.
enjoyed that.
And we'll be back as soon as we can to bring you another match of Magic.
Yep. We will see you then.